Hello, Pally.
Today is Friday, September 28th, 2018.
And InFocus starts right now. TNC has gone through a few changes over the summer.
Pally team is raising money for a worthy cause.
And the mood on Capitol Hill gets even more tense as the Kavanaugh hearings take an unlikely turn.
All that and more is coming up on today's show.
Welcome to InFocus. I'm Stella Essenmacher.
And I'm Leon Friedrichowitz. I don't know about you, Stella, but I've been pretty busy as the school picks up steam.
Me too, Leon. Let's see what's happening around the campus in today's bulletin. Girls Water Polo is hosting its annual treadathon with a beach party theme. Moana starts at 6:30 and the belly flop competition starts at 5. Attendees are asked to dress in their most gnarly beach attire. Spirit Week shirts are now for sale. Students can find the link on Schoology or on the Pally web store. Those who need financial assistance should contact Mr. Hall. The shirts will be for sale until Wednesday, October 3rd at 2 p.m. A Pally student
is organizing a rally as part of a nationwide organization to honor the victims of the Las Vegas shooting. The rally will take place at Litton Plaza on Sunday, September 30th at 1 p.m. For more information, email stspeninsula@gmail.com.
Moving on now from what's going on around campus to what's happening in the world and locally today.
Let's take a look at what's topping today's headlines in today's News Minute.
Students in Ohio are saying enough is enough to sexual violence on their campus. They held a rally at the Ohio University in Athens Thursday night. The university has seen more than a dozen sex assaults on campus in this semester, including 2 rapes. And some people at the rally said they're very concerned. The university is spending more than $1 million to install hundreds of security cameras all over campus.
A high school's football game in suburban Dallas ended abruptly when a man was shot in the stadium's parking lot. It started when 2 parents got into a fight in the stands. They both exited the stadium into the parking lot, where one of them pulled out a gun and pulled the trigger. The man who was shot is in critical condition in the hospital. Police arrested the shooter and evacuated the stadium when they arrived on the scene.
In a dramatic reversal, Senator Jeff Flake, the lone swinging Republican on the Judiciary Committee earlier today, said that he would vote to advance Judge Brett M. Kavanaugh's nomination in the committee, but wants a 1-week delay before the full Senate vote to allow the FBI time to investigate accusations of sexual assault leveled against Judge Kavanaugh. When we come back, TNC gets some new businesses.
And Thomas and Jason will be in our sports and weather updates.
InFocus will be right back.
Hey, sisters!
September 28th to attend the 2nd annual Pally Girls Water Polo Treadathon. There will be food, movies, some fun beach-themed games, and a lot of treading water. So please come on out and support us.
But you don't have to tread water.
Welcome back. In the 11th century, Europe was much further along than the non-existent country of the United States of America.
Countries in Europe, such as England, were already fighting wars and conquering faraway lands. And Kyle, our very own resident historian, has been learning more.
So, European imperialism is today's subject, Kyle?
Absolutely. Although, like Ferris Bueller, I don't subscribe to isms in general, but I do love learning about them. Although I wouldn't call this imperialism, more like a run-of-the-mill invasion. On this day in 1066, William the Conqueror landed his invasion force at Pevensey in southern England. Earlier that year, Harold Godwinson had controversially ascended to the English throne after the death of King Edward. In early September, King of Norway Harald Hardrada, different Harold, invaded, but was repulsed and killed at the Battle of Stamford Bridge. On September 28, 1066, 3 days after the Norwegians were defeated, William of Normandy invaded from the south, believing himself the rightful ruler. The Normans defeated King Harold at the Battle of Hastings, and on Christmas Day, William of Normandy became William I of England. The integration of Romantic, Norman, and German Anglo-Saxon language produced the English language we speak today. Well, that's all for me. Back to you, Stella and Leon.
It's always exciting to come back to school after summer.
But sometimes, seeing the changes at our favorite shopping center across the street can be jarring. I went across the street to see what changes were made while we were on break.
Hey Pally, it's Leon from InFocus. Over the summer, while you've been vacationing, there have been some changes.
I'm sorry.
Namely, Calafia.
Calafia closed because of two main reasons: health and money. They didn't have enough money to continue running the operation, that is Calafia, and so they closed. The health issue was because of the numerous amount of rats and cockroaches that were living in the restaurant.
We're here at Calafia, and we found some interviewees to interview. How do you feel about Calafia closing?
I'm so sad. I'm actually really heartbroken. I just found this place about 6 months ago, and we come here all the time for delicious, healthy treats.
One of the founders for Boba Guys has said that Palo Alto is one of the most requested locations to expand to.
Hey guys, we're at the second shop here called Boba Guys. They make boba, and they started in 2011, bridged with another ramen shop. They want to focus mostly on homemade and handmade ingredients.
The new Bed Bath & Beyond is here so that college students that go to Stanford can buy last-minute equipment for their college dorms.
So we're here at the third and final store that has changed in town and country. The Bed Bath & Beyond X Stanford Collab store. It has Stanford clothing and accessories combined with Bed Bath & Beyond equipment.
For InFocus, this is Leon Fedoshevitz reporting.
Thanks for that great story, Leon, Thomas, and Ruben.
Before practice, many student athletes head over to town and country.
Jason Goldie is in the studio now with the latest in Pally sports news.
Say, Jason, how are yesterday's performances?
They fared pretty well, Stella. Quite a few games were played, including tennis, volleyball, cross country, and Counter-Strike, which is a sample of what was played. Girls varsity tennis held down the court with 5 sets to Los Altos' 2 sets. Girls varsity won the rally against Milpitas, also with a score of 2-0. For a little change in pace, last Tuesday there were a few cross-country meets. Girls Frosh Soft placed first out of 7 teams, and boys Frosh Soft came in second. Girls varsity kicked it to the finish, placing second out of 13 teams. Also, boys varsity cruised in at second place. The preseason for the high school esports league is now in action. With a score of 16-0, the Counter-Strike team swept Rancho Solano. Today is Friday, and you know what that means. At 4 p.m., varsity football will compete against Wilcox, which will be locally televised. Back to you.
Many students at Pally are stressed, and a great way to relieve stress is searching for a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow.
Our meteorologist Thomas, who is sometimes seen dressed as a leprechaun, is in the studio now with today's weather report.
Thomas, is there any chance of striking gold?
Well, there won't be any rainbows today, but maybe in a few days. But stay away from me, Lucky Charms. Let's look at the weather around the Bay Area today. So up in San Francisco, we got about a high of 63 and a low of 56. It's roughly around 60 degrees right now. As we look at Oakland, it's about roughly the same with about a 10-mile-an-hour wind. Over in San Jose, it's a high of 71 with a low of 56. And that's our weather around the Bay Area today. So as we look around for Palo Alto, it's 66 right now, coming in with about a high of 71, around 6-mile-an-hour wind. Humidity at 66%. Mostly the same throughout the week. And as we look at through the rest, it's around high 70s with mid 50s. That's all from weather. Back to you in the studio.
Well, that does it for today's episode.
Be sure to visit our website to check out old episodes, check the bulletin, or to send us an email.
Until next time, have a great day, Pally.